and even prior to that, when African slaves were owned by natives.
Right.
So
for many different reasons.
Yeah.
For many different reasons. Like if my aunt was a native woman and she trying to protect me, I'm just looking at one of the positive sides of that. Well, let's not say aunt, because I think it was male-dominated slavery for the most part. Okay, so say my uncle wanted to save me from the brutality of slavery, then he could purchase me as his slave. On the books, it looks like I'm his slave, but really it's just,
Protection.
technically, protection. That's what it is.
Right.
So even today, you have a lot of so-called African Americans that will say things like, my language can be very straightforward, so I'm trying to curb it a little bit. I'm going to say forget, but they don't use the word forget. They use the other word. Forget the Native Americans, they own slaves. And so what I try to tell them is that, it's black people. So-called black African Americans own slaves. So-called Native Americans own slaves, but they own slaves for various reasons. Some were brutal. Some were just as brutal, and some say even more brutal than the Caucasian slave masters. But some were doing it for protection purposes. So let's just paint the whole picture of what I'm trying to do.
Right.
So we can address the brutal Native American slave owners, but at the same time we need to address the other side as well.
Right.
And I just want to bring as much truth about the history as possible.
Well, that's the only way I know to bring it.
Yeah.
It's no way to sugarcoat it, because that's what the white man has been doing.
Right.
Is sugarcoating it. As a matter of fact, they're trying to even get it out of the history books. So there will be no mention of any of the brutality or even enslavement.
Right. What are they trying to call them now? Workers? They were not slaves, but it's another word they're trying to use to just wipe slavery off.
They're trying to wipe slavery. They're even trying to wipe out even the migration from Africa to even the triangle. They're trying to wipe all of that out of the history books.